What's going on, guys? It is your boy B Glen here with my man Tony, OG Tony, and this is the Wrasslin Racing Show for Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. And we are your host today. Today we're going to talk about some NASCAR over the weekend. Obviously, Chase Elliott won Texas, and we're going to recap that weekend. And we're going to look forward to this weekend, Watkins Glen, and we'll get to some WWE NXT before we head out here. So, Tony, how's it going, man?
Going good, going good. Looking forward to the show, man.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series was in Texas over the weekend, last Friday for the Speedy Cash 250. The winner of that race was Carson Hocevar. Had a relatively good race, and some say that race on Friday was probably the highlight of the weekend or the race of the weekend, based on how you feel about it. Then you had Kyle Larson hold off Justin Allgaier Saturday at Texas in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. That race is pretty cool. And then Sunday we had Chase Elliott win at Texas. Tony, your thoughts on that?
I know you was happy with that result. Yeah, it was a decent race. I didn't get to see a lot of it. I just seen a few laps. Um, I was real busy this weekend, so I was kind of resting on on Sunday. I didn't watch a lot of stuff. I watched uh, the main thing I watched on Sunday was the Von Erich's second part of that documentary. So I didn't see a lot of stuff on Sunday because I was resting from my busy trip in Chicago. But yeah, a big win for your guy, man. I know you're real happy.
Oh, absolutely. One thing I've noticed over Chase Elliott's career since he took over for Gordon in the Cup Series when he retired is all of Chase, or I should say almost all of Chase Elliott's wins, really come down to him and Denny Hamlin. It's usually Denny's right behind him, is chasing him, trying to chase him down, but Denny holds or Chase, for the most part, holds him off for the win. It was like that when it was the reverse of that back in Vegas, back at the end of middle of March when they raced out there. Chase was trying to run down Denny Hamlin for the win. And some say if Chase would have had a few more laps in the race or had it went to overtime, Chase probably could have got to him. Same with Denny on Sunday. If there was another overtime in this race, Denny Hamlin or let alone Tyler Reddick could have got up to him because Tyler Reddick was coming quick with those. I think it was two right sides on that last stop. So, but we got Watkins Glen coming up this weekend. We got the Truck Series on Friday racing on FS1. I will actually be heading out that way tomorrow in the morning. So I will be there in person. I might go live here on the channel and stuff. Then we got before that Truck Series on Friday, though, the Arkham Menards Series will be racing. I think it's a 100-mile race. I can't remember how many laps there are in that specific race, but we got a couple of road course trainers in this race on Thursday, or I should say Friday for the Truck Series. Nathan Nicholson is taking over Spencer Boyd's ride. If you know Nathan Nicholson, he's a Mazda MX driver series. They're like an undercard to the IndyCar, some of the IndyCar stuff. So like if you go and watch the race, IndyCar races at St. Pete, those weekends Mazda MX will run at that same track. So Nathan Nicholson runs in that series as well. We also got a couple surprises, some personal favorites of mine that are racing Friday. One being Tony Bridinger and the other being Natalie Decker. Now, those two ladies are not road course trainers. They're more of a super speedway, Daytona, Talladega type of drivers. So it was a little bit shocking and surprising to me to see them pop up on the entry list this weekend, which I'm pretty excited because I'm going to get a couple of autographs on Fridays for them two ladies. So it's going to be a fantastic weekend. But we haven't even touched the Saturday and Sunday races for the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and stuff. I believe the winners on Saturday and Sunday are either going to be Connor Zilic, Shane Van Gisbergen on Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday, I have Tyler Brett winning the race. So, Tony, have you ever seen a race at Watkins Glen before?
No. I've seen it on TV. I like Watkins Glen races. I enjoy those. I've got to catch a couple of those races before. So that's one track that I've seen multiple times. There's some tracks I haven't seen a lot of, but I have seen Watkins Glens, and I do like it.
Yeah, it's a fun track. I heard it's a camping destination, so they have a lot of spots all through the infield and all around the. I've seen a lot of the I've researched because obviously I'm going out that way, but Google Maps, it looks like it's out in the freaking middle of nowhere. Like I've been to Michigan for that race out there last June. A lot like there's more city and houses and stuff by Michigan and Brooklyn, Michigan compared to what I noticed about Watkins Glen. So it's going to be a fun little time out there, that's for sure. Do you have any picks for Sunday's race?
I kind of like Reddick too. That's who I kind of like too for this race. I kind of agree with you on that. But I do have a question for you. As far as tracks, what are your top 3 tracks that you like to watch on TV or that you've been to live?
I'm not going to include Indianapolis Motor Speedway because I would be a homer in that way. Obviously, that's going to make every list every day of the week. Daytona holds a special place in my heart, obviously, because the history pretty much helped NASCAR get to mainstream. I've been there many times. I do plan on going back in February, unless we get a big event here in Indy for WWE around that time. But you never know. That is one that's on my list. That's probably near top. Phoenix, I wouldn't rank it near the top. I'll probably put it like middle of the pack for me. It's so easy to walk, even through the tunnel of the infield. The fan zone stuff inside the infield is amazing. And stuff I went in 2023 for the championship. Charlotte is another good one that I like. I went over Charlotte pretty much some of the team's shops when I was out there in 2024. Bristol would probably be number 2, honestly, if I had to rank them. Bristol would be 2. The spring Bristol race, I personally wouldn't go to it. For me, if I'm going to go to Bristol, it's always got to be the Bristol fall and night race, because the spring race it's not what it used to be, and it's not even what sells. That's not the race that sells the tickets. The race that sells the tickets and puts the butts in the seats is the night race in the fall. Let's see, I've been to Michigan. Michigan's average, nice track, good infield. Kind of, if you've never been there to Michigan before and you try to find where your parking place is, it's kind of a pain in the butt. We just had to struggle with that one and stuff. So Daytona 1, Bristol 2. I think Watkins Glen is going to sneak in there in the top 3 after this weekend. I got a good feeling about this weekend and stuff. So, but we shall see, Tony.
Do you really enjoy night races?
Yes, I would rather enjoy. I'm more of a night person, race person, but like I'm okay with day as well. I'm a night person just from pretty much the day I was born, man. So I've been to Kentucky Speedway for their night race when they hosted the Cup back in 2017 and stuff. Race wasn't the best, obviously, because the Cup cars just don't drive well on the track, so the race is boring and stuff. Martin Truex Jr. pretty much lapped everybody except the top 5. So that tells you how much of a boring race that was.
Okay, who's leading the points right now, or is there a points leader right now?
There is a points leader right now. It's still Tyler Reddick, obviously. I think I can't remember how much he's leading by as far as numbers, but he's got like a 1 or 2 race lead on the field right now. So
Okay.
And Chase and Denny is keeping up with him, though. That's a good thing.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's gotta make you happy.
yeah, oh, absolutely. Obviously, if Chase wins this Sunday, I'll be happy as well. Especially with having a VIP pass and being up there and stuff with Gibbs and those guys, Joe Gibbs. I'll be with the Christopher Bell's team. So,
Have you been there at any races live that Chase has won?
yes, not the Cup Series. He didn't win the Cup Series when I went to Charlotte, but the fun is I'm happy you asked you about this because this is one hell of a story. So you remember how I had the photo in Glen with Christopher Bell in 2024 at Charlotte for Memorial Day weekend? Well,
Yes.
obviously the pass got me in all the garages the whole complete weekend. Well, the Xfinity race is on Saturday. Chase ran the Xfinity race. Chase is on the track leading the race. I'm in the Cup garage. I'm kidding you, I'm sitting right outside Jimmy Johnson Holler because it was one of the few races he ran that season. And Matt Kenseth walks out, because he's part of the team operations and stuff like a team competition manager and stuff. And I'm waiting for Jimmy to come out. I know Jimmy's in there, so I'm getting my picture with Jimmy Johnson when Chase Elliott is crossing the finish line winning the Charlotte Xfinity race that season. That's one hell of a story, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, because I could the way the Charlotte set up the Cup garage, if a driver's hauler is at the right spot, you can look down to the screen at the backstretch because the backstretch screen is huge enough to where you can see what's going on. And I'm like looking to my left and I'm seeing Chase Elliott and I'm about ready to get a picture taken with Jimmy Johnson, so.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Well, Big Glen, is there anything else on racing that you want to touch on?
I think that pretty much takes care of it. I got through my picks. I got through our points leaders and stuff with the Cup Series. Let's go ahead and talk some NXT.
Okay.
Yeah, last night. Yeah, I'll let you hit that one off, Tony.
Oh, okay. Last night was a good show, man. I'm really liking the new NXT, and not that there was anything wrong with the old NXT from a few months ago, or definitely, black and gold. Everybody wish it could be black and gold again. And black and gold was great, but black and gold is so different. It's not really fair to compare black and gold to this NXT. Black and gold wasn't. It was their own brand. It was like Ring of Honor. It was a brand like that. This is not. I don't want to say it's not their own brand because in a way it is, but this is also where the young wrestlers are there to learn and to have an opportunity to move up.
Yes.
or to go to AAA or different things like that. You've got so much. The way the system is, you can be signed to the ID program. Then you can move to Evolve if you step up, and then you can move to NXT or AAA or later on to WWE. So it's just so different now, and that's one thing I've really noticed, that the NIL is still important to the WWE, but with all the signings or people going up to the main roster, now you can really see this ID program paying off, because a lot of these wrestlers that have been signed to the ID are coming up to Evolve, and there's some of them moving very quickly up to the main roster because they lost 7 or 8, 9 people in the last couple of months very quickly. And just some of the names, and we can talk about some of the names that have moved up and what we think about them. The first one that comes to mind, they've been there for a little while now, is the Vanity Project.
Yeah, man. The top heel tag team in NXT right now.
Jackson Drake, Brad Baylor, and Ricky Smokes. They're fantastic, man. I think, and these guys are 21, 22 years old, and I think they got a bright future. The thing about their future is, hey, they're going to be mainstays in NXT probably for a couple years. But I bet they're going to go to the main roster probably if everything works out, and they're going to be 24 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, WWE is going to get very young very quick, I think, over time. What do you think about the Vanity Project?
Oh, I love them. I had just mentioned it when you was talking about the Vanity Project. They're the top team, top heel team in NXT right now.
Yeah.
They got Micah Lockwood involved. You know, I like
Yeah.
that dynamic, kind of like a China enforcer
Yeah.
type. Body slamming. It was Jasper Torrey. She body slam,
Yes.
or yeah, I
Yeah. It was
couldn't.
Jasper Troy.
Uh, yeah, Jasper Torrey looks like 3 or 4 other guys in NXT to me. You know, so it's kind of hard to get their names right sometimes because they
Yeah.
all look kind of the same. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah. I agree with you. I love what they're doing. Another name who's just made their way there. Looks like to me he's going to take NXT by storm. And that's Mason Rook, who's came out at the end of the last 2 shows.
yeah,
He's came from, I believe, from the UK or somewhere along those areas. The dude's got a different look. I think if Kevin Owens and Gunther, when Gunther wasn't in shape, had a baby, that's what this
yeah,
guy would look like. And
absolutely.
he's got a lot of charisma. I'm really interested in him because he's different looking. I think it's good to have different looking people. You don't want everybody to look the same or be the
Yeah,
same.
absolutely. My favorite thought about him is the one that Cena posted on Twitter that I read reference to last night. He's big as bad, and he'll body slam your dad. You know, and
Well,
he looked like he would too.
if you heard at the end of the show last night, that's what the crowd was chanting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the crowd was chanting. So we're going to hear that a lot. I really like where he's going. Love Silo Hill. I think he's a big guy who moves good in the ring. I think he can wrestle, but he's also got a lot of character.
Oh,
And so
wow,
I think
absolutely.
so I'm high on him. Keanu Carver. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that interview last night. It was something very different, and I think they're doing something different with him. They're really look. You ain't going to be able to polish him. Polish is not going to stick with him. He's going to
No.
be who he is, and you have to make the best of that. I mean, he's never going to be a great talker. He's just not going to be. He's going to be a beast, and that's the way you need to treat him. And but they're letting him be himself and playing off that. And I thought that interview really worked well last night. What do you
hmm
think?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I like the dynamic of Miles Warren and Tavion Heights looking like they were starting to get some rift in between them 2 guys. You know, then Miles Warren coming in at the end of that match.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a pogo stick or what, man. He went flying like a 747.
Well, I'm a big Miles Bourne fan and Tavian Heights, so I'm
Same.
looking I'm looking for him to push Tavian. Uh, and it looks like he's going to become a heel, which they need some more heels.
Yes.
Uh, so I'm really impressed with this new guy they brought in too, Tristan Angels. I think he gives a slight little Triple H vibe a little
Yeah.
bit. When Triple H first came in, you know,
Yeah.
the Hunter
He gives
Hearst
me
promo
Fabio
with him.
vibes.
That
He look,
too.
yeah.
He's only 22 years old.
Damn,
So
he
I
looks a little
mean,
bit older than what his age looks, but that might be a good
yeah,
thing for him.
yeah. I like EK Prosper. Uh, I really like a lot of things that they're doing. Let's take a little look at the women's division, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would just get ready to go there on that. I was gonna make reference to them using the kid a little bit more
yep.
now that she's on LFG, trying to work her way back into the picture. So
Why does a lot of people? Let me ask you, Glenn, because I know you're a big fan, and I like her too. I've liked her from day one. I thought she had a look. I think she's got a presence to her. I think she's gotten better shape. I think that she's gotten better and better in the ring. But why do people like to hate on her in on the internet?
she's misunderstood, and that's a good thing. And plus, people, if they don't think you're good, they're gonna say pretty much anything. They're not gonna say anything positive. She's a good talent. She just hasn't had the ring time in that way because of her
Well,
injuries.
she's had a lot of bad luck, no doubt about it,
Yeah,
with her injuries.
2 ACLs.
Yeah, and bad ones, but
Yeah,
especially the last one was a real bad one. Some people didn't know if she's going to be able to come back from it,
yeah.
and I think it's good.
Yeah, it's cool to see her back in there doing her thing, and she's one talent that I completely understand where she's coming from on a lot of this stuff. You know, so it's amazing to see her work it.
Well, and another thing I like about her, she don't look like everybody else.
Yeah, like
It's
Tiffany Stratton's, you know, Blake
yeah,
Rose, you know.
it's not the carbon copy, and I don't think you want the carbon copy all the time. and I think she's got big personality. I think she's going to make it. I hope they give her a good chance. Just hopefully she don't get injured again.
Yeah. I'm more concerned. I think she's not. I don't think she's going to get hurt again for a while. But I mean that say that I think she will, because I think her luck's going to start improving, and we've already started to see it. I'm more concerned on TKO keeping her there long enough to use her and get her up on the roster, and maybe put the North American Championship on her, things like that. I know that might be a little bit wishful thinking on my end right now, but I can see the vision if they're willing to put the time in to use her on TV.
Yeah, most definitely. I tell you, somebody that's really impressed me, and she impressed me in Evolve because I've seen her some there. Now she's up on the NXT. That's Kaylee Armstrong.
Yes.
I really like her. That match with her and Jada Parker was very good.
I have a question about Jada Parker
Yeah.
after seeing what we saw last night. Do you think it's possible that Jada Parker might get lost in the shuffle?
I had thoughts of that, but they played into it. So I think they got a plan. I don't know if she's going heel. I don't know if they run Natty there to just give her an edge or to help her turn back heel, because Natty told her that, she had heard that Jada Parker turned soft
Mm-hmm.
because Jada is in the back, throwing a fit, and she's
45
lost a lot of
minutes.
matches. She's lost, yeah, like Marcus said, yeah.
We'll talk about that in here.
That timing didn't make sense. I agree with Marcus on that, but yeah, I hope not. I like Jada Parker. I think she has a presence. I think she's good in the ring, but I think she depends on certain things too much, and I think that's what's holding her back as far as her style goes. She's got a way that she wrestles, and I haven't seen that. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't think it's moved to another level where she could move up yet.
Yeah. Because you gotta remember, she came in with Last Legend, and Last Legend already main roster winning tag titles with Nia Jax and everything. They came in right at the same time, because I can't remember if it was the first time we went to NXT or the second time. Them two were feuding, or teaming or feuding, when last was with that metaphor with Mara Ciade, that's now in TNA.
Wanted to ask you about Lola Vice. How you feeling about her championship run so far?
I love it. Well deserved. She's put in the work, going to AAA with Mr. Iguana, doing their tag run down there, doing dual shows. Whether or not how long she keeps this title is one thing I'm excited to see, because I want to see if they're going to keep it on her long term, like they usually do with champions falling and staying in the liver. Usually, your NXT Women's Champion that comes out staying in the liver usually holds the belt for a long period of time. Most years until the falling staying in the liver. So I don't think she'll hold it for that long, but I think she'll have a good reign.
I'm gonna make a prediction. I think stand in the liver will be Kendall Gray and Zarya.
Yes.
Zarya as the champion.
So yeah, I can say So
and Kendall Gray take it, unless I know they're really high on Kendall, because she could move up before that. So I think that's a possibility. But that's, to me, Kendall's a big bright spot. But I like Zarya too, and I think they need to get back to making her more the killer that she should be.
Yes, absolutely. And they started doing that last night with them. They're going to have a tag match this week, but at the next PLE is going to be a fatal 4-way between them 4 ladies and stuff. So I'm highly looking forward to that, because I like all 4 of them and stuff, and really it can make case for all 4 of them walking out with the championship. So it's crazy how stacked and even that is in that way.
I want to go back to the men's here in a second for just a little bit, but I did want to ask you your thoughts on Lizzie Rain.
One hell of a talent. She's going to be another one that's going to move up quick, similar to Kendall Gray and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up winning that Fatal 4-Way Women's North American Championship match. So
I tell you one thing overall with the new women that's came in, and some of them getting opportunity, and the men. And I'm not putting the roster down before, because I think all of them worked hard and they were hungry. But right now, because this group is so young, I think they're even more hungry.
yeah.
I think it shows on TV. At least it does for me.
It's a weird way to view this, but I'm going to give you a perfect example of how hungry and how good this roster is going to be. Is the fact that you don't have the same talent on NXT every week. Like, we haven't seen Zari for 2 weeks. There's talent that we're on the last time that we haven't seen in a couple weeks. So it's amazing how this is right now.
Yeah, I agree. They've got a lot of young talent, and they're pushing it and they're going with it. Yeah, one thing that had been a little weak and had been criticized some in the men's division is that they weren't deep enough. But man, I really think, I don't know, they don't have the big stars right now. I mean, right now, you've got the champ. He would be their biggest star right now. But other than him, they don't have the big names. So everybody's kind of on the same playing field to a certain degree. So I like that. I think it makes it in a way more interesting, because before you had Ricky Saints, and you had Paige,
Joe
and
Hendry.
you had 3 or 4 or 5 names that them guys were going to be the main event. Not anymore. It's up for grabs.
Yep. And even Tony D spot on the top there is not secure, because the men's right now it's so even.
And I did want to ask you about they named him something, Evil, who came over from Japan. Do you remember?
I can't remember, but I know who you talk about. It's
Yes.
man.
Yep, they brought Nakura, something like that.
Yeah,
I should have wrote it down, but I didn't.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but yeah, I don't think he's going to take the belt off of Tony D yet, though.
Not yet. I think there's another Japanese wrestler that's coming over, Tanahashi. They're going to sign him. He's been a big star over there. I think they're probably going to team up, and I think you're going to see something like that, and then the belt will come. I do think Evil or Tanahashi may get the belt off him eventually, but this Evil guy is intriguing to me because I like his look, and I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I don't know much about him. I asked Warren, because Warren, who's part of GWR, he follows Japan wrestling, so he knows quite a bit about him. I didn't. So on our last show that me and Warren did together, we talked about it a little bit. He explained his character and where he came from. He's the guy that rose to the top because a lot of the main guys left, but he's become a pretty good star. So, and now he's in NXT. I think it's a good get for him. I think he could be a good.
Speaking of Japan, man, you saw the thing that I shared in our group chat last night or the other day. New Japan is coming to Chicago. I think July. I think it was July 11th.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I was going to say August, but TNA is in August.
TNA's my birthday, August 23rd. So that's why I know that.
Yeah, when's Thunderstruck again for WCW?
The day before, August 22nd.
Okay, all right. The reason why I was asking, because I was going to ask you that eventually, because I forgot the other day for the WCWO. So I'm like, maybe I can hit both. So
yeah, I'm definitely going to be at the WCWO show. Of course, we'll be there commentating. So that I'm looking forward to that. They've got going to have a great card. I happen to even know a couple matches, match wise, but I can't say nothing now. But the card already subject to change, and it's awful early to be giving anything out.
It's about 3 months away, so a lot can change between now and then, obviously. So,
but it's going to be a great show. Hopefully, the fans come out for. Going to be, the last show had about 1,000 people, pretty much full. So hopefully they can do that again.
Yeah, I will say, Tony, if I go to TNA in August, I probably will come out for that too. So,
yeah, I'm not giving up. I would like to. I've never been to a TNA show, so I would love to go to the TNA show. So I'm going to try. We're going to see if we can make that work. That'd be a rough weekend though, trying to go to the WCWO show, be there, tear down, and then
Yeah.
might be a little wore out. So
Yeah. Just take some B12, you'd be all right.
yeah,
B12 and some aspirin.
yeah, true. Well, Glenn, what else can we touch on here? There's been a lot of wrestling news. Let's talk a little about the New Day.
Yes,
New
that,
Day,
yeah, let's get to that because that's a hot topic right now.
yes.
They got really, or they asked for the release because they had been asked to take a pay cut,
Yes.
which is crazy.
I have no I have no problem, and people are going to say it's weird, but it's a double-edged sword for me. It's a bad look when you're making a lot of profits and main management's getting raises and you're cutting money. So
Yeah,
now there's another look to it too, though. When you put in a program like NXT and Evolve, an ID program, this is what's going to happen. The top people at the top making big money and not being used are going to get let go. And so I understand that. I just wish they would. I think we're going to see a change. I don't think we're going to see very many wrestlers get signed to 5-year contracts anymore. I don't think we're going
they're
to see
going to be
that.
short term, and if TKO can get them to sign this kind of deal, it would be performance based like it used to be, like
I
UFC.
think it's going to be more like 2 or 3 years, and I think they see, hey man, we got people like Saruka. And this is going to come up in a year or so. Do we need Bailey? We got Saruka. We got Mariah May, or that's not her name there, but
Yeah,
we have this and this, and for what we're paying Bailey, we can bring 4 of those up.
yeah. We got let's say Stephanie Vaquera. Do we still need Lyra Valkyria? Talents that's been there for a while that's been floating around.
Well, when you got guys like Kendall Gray or Zarya down there, Tatum Paxley, Ren St. Clair, you've got names down, Lola Vice. You bring those 5 people up, and for what they're paying Bailey, and I hate to harp on Bailey because Bailey's one of my favorites, and I don't want her to go anywhere. So let me
Yeah,
preface that. I want her to be in WWE for life. That's my opinion, because I think she's more than just a talent. I think she's the backbone of the women's division.
yeah. Utility lady is what I would call her. The one that keeps the division going in that way.
I think she could be very important to stay for the WWE to keep her around and help the younger talent and everything. But I also understand she's got a lot of friends over AEW. AEW is going to throw a big paycheck at her, a bigger paycheck than what the WWE is going to throw at her.
Yeah,
And I would never hold anything against her for taking that bigger paycheck.
absolutely not. Especially if she wants to go do more massive with Mercedes Moné, So
Yeah.
Totally would love to see that shit, So.
Oh yeah. I don't like what they're doing with the cuts and stuff at all. But it
I
is what
like
it
it
is.
from the standpoint of their year-over-year amounts that I saw with the Nick Khan and Triple H and those top guys. They're from like 2024 to what they're making now is stupid.
Oh yeah. The Ari Emanuel, $65 million. Now you bring up Khan. Nick Khan, he's only making $2 million a year right now. That's a lot of money,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. But for the position he's in, I don't think that's out of line.
No, I was just making reference to the chart that I saw. It was like 3 or 4 times what they was making, in 2024.
Oh yeah, I understand. But yeah, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they do there. But you have options. There's AEW, there's NWA, there's TNA. If you don't like what's going on, but I'd like the product. I enjoy the product. I'm not going. If I look at each program, AEW or WWE or any other one, and the things that they do behind the scenes, and if I didn't like something, I was going to quit watching. I wouldn't be watching any of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So I try not to look at it from that standpoint. I enjoy the product. I enjoy all wrestling. I try all of it. I think people get caught up trying to watch WWE, and some people want AEW to be like WWE. No, don't need that. And
Yeah.
that's not good. But I don't want AEW to be WWE, and I don't want WWE to be AEW. I don't want NWA to be TNA. We need everything to be different, at least in my opinion.
I love AEW when they get crazy. Putting needle
Yeah.
syringes in mouths and shit, that kind of.
But I did see somebody make a post, and it was very silly to me. And I don't want nobody to think that I'm putting down the
It
New
wasn't
Day.
I posted because I post a lot of silly shit all the
No,
time.
but this will be the last thing we talk about. But they posted about the New Day, that they say the New Day going to AEW is going to be as big and as important
Oh,
as
I wouldn't
Kevin
mean.
Nash and Scott Hall going to WCW.
Nah,
Wrong. And
dumbass.
there's a reason. There's a big reason for that. And don't get me wrong. I hope they use them correctly, and I hope they go over big. And I think there's a chance they could go over big. But the problem is, I don't know if AEW is going to use them correctly, because everybody thought when Bryan Danielson went over, or Cole went over, that all these guys were going to go over there and was going to make a big difference, and the ratings freaking dropped.
Yeah.
But I hope New Day's used correctly, and I hope they're big. But the Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were great big guys that looked like they could come over and take over the company, and that's the angle they used. They had a great angle. Now, if they could come up with a great angle for the New Day, I don't know what that angle is, but if they could come up with the right angle, yeah, they could make a huge impact. I don't know if there's an angle like that for them, because they're not big, huge guys. So they're not going to come over and take over the company. So it was just the right time. The storyline was right. WCW executed it very well. The only problem they had is once they brought Hogan in, they didn't have a plan for afterwards. They didn't have a plan for a year later, you know,
The
and
only
that
plan
was the
was
problem.
being, and that fizzled out within what, 2 months?
And I don't say too much. It started losing when they started bringing so many people in.
Yeah.
When you went to 3 guys, to 4 guys, to 8 guys, to 12 guys, to 16 guys,
To Brian Knobs and Jerry
to
Sags trying to get in,
to to NWO Wolfpack, to
Hollywood.
Latino World Order, it just got, they didn't know what to
Don't pay
do.
the LWO, man. They still around,
That's true. That's true. That's
sort
true.
of, so
Little bit,
yeah.
but yeah, I just don't think. Let me ask you: do you think if AEW wants to make an impact, because this is what Bischoff did, man. He told Ted Turner, which God bless Ted Turner, who just passed
Yeah.
away, and his
Yeah. Passed
family
away
and
this
everything.
yesterday or this morning or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That do you think AEW should, man? Screw it, man. Let's push the envelope. We're going on Monday night, 8 o'clock, and we're going up against Monday Night Raw. I mean, it could make you or break you, and most people would probably say it's going to break them. But what if people tuned in? Because there's a lot of fans that just don't don't give AEW even a chance.
Yeah. Man, it's hard to go against the machine though. WWE's always been that company over the years. I think if they were to go on the same night as one of the WWE shows, it probably should be NXT. Granted, they've tried that before and it didn't work out too well, if I remember correctly. It
What
was the
worked out
same.
pretty good.
Oh, it did.
Well,
I can't remember exactly
well,
for sure.
I mean, they won most of the times, but the problem with that is you may beat NXT by 100,000 people or 100,000 people watching, but to me, that's not a win. And the reason I'm going to say that is John Moxley makes more in a year than what all the NXT people put together make.
Yep, and
And
evolved in LG.
you should be crushing them. I mean, they shouldn't even be on the map compared to you. And you're
Yeah,
being by 50,000 or 100,000 people. So that's a bad look. I think if you could go up, and no, you're not going to get
SmackDown.
3 million. I mean, there's 3 million people watching on. Yeah, SmackDown, you'd have a better chance, but Friday night's a rough night.
Yeah,
It's just a tough
Friday night is so hit or miss because especially during the fall and summer, or the summer months as well. Uh, you know, I'm noticing a lot of these SmackDown shows in the summer are a lot of the venues are offering percent off discounts. Because a lot of these places are Friday is a tough day.
I mean, they're doing 1.3, 1.4 right now on SmackDown. Uh, we're going to talk about ratings on the next show that we're going to have in just a little bit. Special edition of Face or Heel,
Yeah,
because what I said could happen so far has happened with that change with Darby Allin and MJF and the ratings. But we'll
yeah.
talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah,
Well,
I did
big
realize it's almost 7:50, so I think we all wrap this bad boy up.
we'll wrap this up. Hey, but we do have a special edition of Face or Heel coming up here around 8 o'clock or so, and then also at 10 o'clock we have Hot Seat with OG Tony, and that'll be our last show for the weekend. Now Glenn may go live. He said on sometime on Saturday or something at the
Yeah,
racetracks, or on Friday, Saturday, whatever.
sometime between Friday and Sunday. It depends. I have an idea where or when I want to, but whether or not I'm allowed to use the phone in the garage area is the
Yes.
one thing that if I see no phones, then I might go live to catch a Star race or something like that. So
Okay, yeah. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody watching, Big Glen, and so we'll be back in a month.
Yep.
First Wednesday of every month, we're on here with Wrasslin and Racing with OG Tony and Big Glen. So hopefully you
Yep.
guys enjoyed the show, and we'll catch you
see
guys
you
next
in
time.
about 20 minutes. Forgot to hit the end stream.